You said yourself, we're losing our sense of humour. It's worse than that. We're losing our sense of free thinking. There are some people who genuinely think homosexuality is wrong. They've got the right to have that debate, as long as they do it respectfully and they don't create violence. Now, what I'm really worried about here is the complete politicisation of policing. One of the items there in the news was about people, idiots, letting down car tyres. Now, imagine if you're a mum, you've just picked up your kids, and you get into the car, that could lead to death. Now, why aren't the police apprehending people who could actually be killing people in cars? Instead, as well, it's a statement about the environment. And instead, they introduce something which the police, as you said, Andrew, have no time to do. What about knife crime in London? That's killing people, not just hurting their feelings. My feeling now is pretty much what you said in your opening comments. We are losing a sense of perspective. In a free society, you've got the right to cause offence. And here's the biggest point. As you said yourself, if you don't like Ricky Gervais's humour, then don't pay to go and see it. Or turn over. We've got 200 television channels, and at some point we are actually going to squash everything which intellectual, clever, independent-minded people would describe as a tolerant society.
We need to find out too, is this going to be Labour Party policy? Rachel Maskell, Labour MP, says effectively cancel Ricky Gervais. Is that Labour Party policy now? If we don't think comedians are funny, if some people might be offended? And can I ask as well, why is the trans community always the one that's to be wrapped in cotton wool? Less than a tenth of 1%. I don't think it's the trans people themselves, because I talked about this on my LBC show on Friday. 2 trans women called my show to say, A, they were not offended by my criticism of the criticism of Ricky Gervais, but they said it is the activists who are campaigning on their behalf who are causing all the trouble for the trans community. You know, the Telegraph reported on Saturday, there are now 100 different definitions of gender being used in Whitehall. 100. And I read some of them out to the trans women. They never... Do you know what gender cowboy is? Do you know what gender grey is?
It's just been made up recently.
Well, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But this is in Whitehall. This is Whitehall that runs the country, are using these ridiculous phrases, and civil servants are being tested on it. There should be a big revolt against this.
Well,